We are walking towards the immense concrete arches of Stützpunkt 89 Fulda. It is difficult to appreciate just how ambitious this engineering project really was. Hidden within the Calais region, these colossal structures were built to protect some of Germany's most powerful railway artillery from Allied air attack. Known locally as the Dombunker or Cathedral bunker, each shelter stretched approximately 80 meters in length, stood around 10 meters high, and was protected by up to 2.5 meters of reinforced concrete. The distinctive vaulted roof was not merely an architectural flair. The curved design helped disperse force of bomb blasts, creating a structure that was both immensely strong and instantly recognizable. What is truly staggering is the sheer quantity of material required to construct one of these bunkers. Based on its known dimensions, engineers likely poured somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 cubic meters of reinforced concrete into a single Dombunker, representing approximately 10,000 to 12,000 tons of concrete mass.
Well, we are at the railway battery of the Sangat cement works here in Calais. And would you believe this bunker used to house a very large German railway gun? And it was put here for one reason, and for one very interesting reason. Operation Sealion, Seelöwe. Yes, the Germans were going to invade England, and this was one of the massive railway guns which was supposed to support the troops on their way to England.
Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Fulda was not the gun itself, but the sophisticated system built around it. When ordered to fire, the railway gun would emerge from the safety of its bunker and move onto a specially constructed circular turntable. This ingenious engineering solution allowed the entire weapon to be rotated and aligned towards its target. Once firing was complete, the gun could retreat back into the protection of the Dombunker and sheltered from the reconnaissance aircraft and bombing raids. Today, these massive bunkers stand silent and abandoned. They remain a striking reminder of the extraordinary resources devoted to the German coastal defense system. More than 80 years later, the Dombunker of Fulda continue to demonstrate the scale, ingenuity and sheer ambition of wartime military engineering. While the massive Dombunker naturally dominates the landscape, one of the most important structures at Stützpunkt 89 Fulda was actually much smaller, the observation and command bunker, and this is what we're looking at here. This bunker served as the eyes of the railway battery. From here, German artillery officers observed the coastline, tracked targets, coordinated firing data, and directed the enormous railway guns concealed within the nearby Dombunker. Unlike conventional artillery batteries where the gun crews could often see their targets, the artillery commanders here were often requiring support from a network of observation posts in the area. This observation bunker, and others like it, were known to the Germans as a Leitstand. Now, just behind the great Dombunker stood another vital component of the railway gun complex, the ammunition bunker. While the Dombunker protected the gun itself, this structure protected something equally important, the enormous stockpile of shells and propellant charges required to keep the battery operational. The K5 railway gun stationed here fired massive 280mm shells, weighing more than 250 kilograms each. Each round required careful storage, handling, and transportation, all while under the constant threat of Allied air attack. To solve this problem, German engineers constructed large reinforced concrete ammunition magazines directly within the strongpoint. These bunkers were built with thick reinforced concrete walls and heavy armored doors. Their purpose was not only to protect the ammunition from bombing, but also to contain the devastating effect of an accidental explosion. Inside, the structure was divided into separate storage chambers, reducing the risk that a single blast could destroy the entire ammunition supply. While the exact firing record of the Fulda battery has not survived, guns of this type fired hundreds of heavy shells during the war. They could be hurled more than 60 kilometers across the English Channel, bringing the towns and military installations of southern England within the reach of the German artillery. Yet the very existence of this bunker raises an important question. Why use railway guns at all, rather than constructing permanent batteries like those found elsewhere along the Atlantikwall? The answer lay in mobility. Railway guns could be moved between prepared firing positions, concealed in tunnels, withdrawn from air attack, and then redeployed as strategic circumstances changed. At a time when fixed coastal batteries could be identified and targeted, the railway gun offered commanders a degree of flexibility that conventional fortifications could never provide. Ironically, however, Fulda also represents the twilight of the railway gun. The enormous resources required to construct, supply, protect, and operate these weapons increasingly outweighed their military value. The rise of long-range aircraft, precision bombing, guided missiles, and mobile rocket artillery would soon render the giant railway gun obsolete. Here at Fulda we see both the culmination and the conclusion of an era. This was amongst the last great expressions of 19th century industrial warfare, where steel, concrete, railways, and engineering ambition combined to create weapons of astonishing scale. Within a few short years of the war's end, the age of the railway gun had passed into history, leaving behind only monuments such as this bunker to remind us of a time when nations believed victory could still be delivered on rails.
Over dragons' teeth and wire, as oak leaves fall to ground, the sound of war inspires, but fate of will was drowned. The left undermines the value of truth so dearly lost. No sacrifice remembered by the heroes he did cross. A hero is born through ashes of former glory. A teacher rises high, in his eyes shines the story. In defiance of lies so told, in the tears of true hearts lost, from the shadows of the last bunker is Klovekorn, the relic hunter. Klovekorn, the relic hunter. Down waterlogged trenches, rusted relics and helmets worn.